welcome back to the first ever Demon Slayer Chronicles and Demon Slayer podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ronny.
And I'm Chaz.
You guys need to hurry up so we can play Fortnite.
And so this, what do you think? What do you think of the name Demon Slayer Chronicles?
It doesn't flow off the tongue.
It doesn't. I don't. But what do you?
The DS.
The Demon Chronicles. The DS makes it seem like we're doing like a Nintendo DS throwback podcast.
It does. I do like the initials DS though.
I do. I will on the episodes. I'll mark it DS because I like to do that so people know. I'm really passionate about having an organized podcast channel.
And you're very good at it.
Thank you. So if you're new around here, I'm Ronny. He's Chad.
We're just two guys. We like to cover shows. We like to do topics and whatnot.
We're not professionals by any means. If you're looking for in-depth experts of Demon Slayer, this is not the podcast for you. We're just two buddies. We like watching anime and talking about it, chatting about it.
We do. And we've covered two other animes so far. If you haven't checked those out, please do.
Full
Attack on
coverage.
Titan. Full coverage.
We're hustling.
Yep. Full coverage. Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yep. We've also got little spin-off episodes of Made in Abyss.
Right.
Squid Game. That Netflix hit that everyone's still talking about to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get away from it. And then we got to learn a little something with Ronny and Chad, all right? Check that out, too. It's where we just have a good time. We laugh. We have fun. Anyway, enough plugging. Let's get into it. Demon Slayer. Chad, what's your history with it?
History with Demon Slayer is I have seen both seasons. I actually watched it not... When the first season came out, I didn't watch it week by week. Mm-hmm. I believe it was on like episode 20 when I started watching it.
Yeah.
So ever since then, though, I've been watching it week by week. So I've pretty much been a live viewer.
Right. You're the anime expert between the two of us. I'm still relatively new to anime. I haven't watched a ton of it, just enough to get me by. I have never seen this before. This will be my first time through.
Yeah, and it's definitely not the most popular show in the world, pretty much.
Right.
Anime in the world.
We did hold a vote. This won by a large amount.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And so anyway, yeah, I think we just get into it. If you have been around here before, I will say, we're at the beginning of a new series. The characters aren't built up as much. These aren't our Attack on Titan episodes that we stretch out to an hour and 20 minutes because we can just pick on every little thing that the characters say and do because we love them so much. We got to get to know these characters. There'll be a little quick hitters here.
Right, and I did want to get your take. Initial thoughts, since this is your first time viewing of the first episode.
Yeah, I thought, first of all, I liked the setting. I liked the art, the animation. Here's what I knew going into Demon Slayer. This is full honesty. The main guy's name started with a T. Okay. And you've told me it goes pretty hard in the paint. You've also said it either got you in your feels hard or straight up made you cry.
Well, there's a lot of things that make me cry. So
you're an emotional guy, and
I'm an emotional guy.
That's one of your best traits.
Yeah.
So have you cried in watching this program?
I got a little teary-eyed.
Okay.
There's nothing's made me cry like the Flies or whatever. Lord of the Flies, not Lord of the Flies. Yeah.
Sub or dub?
This is something I wanted to ask you very adamantly about. I know that you probably watched it in dub, which is fine, but I do watch it in sub.
Here's what I do. Attack on Titan, I've watched in sub. Jujutsu Kaisen, I watched most our sub because I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Right.
This one, it was on Netflix, and I watched the first episode in dub. Stick with me.
All right.
To try and help with name pronunciations. That was the sole reason.
Okay. If you're like me, you're just a professional at it doesn't matter what language it's in, you know the names.
Yep.
So.
And if you've dabbled in our Jujutsu Kaisen podcast, you know that's not the truth.
So, you talking about the animation though, Ufotable, I believe that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm photable. People are like, "Oh, you make a great photo." Ronnie's very photo.
That's photogenic, but
oh,
that is the production company that animates this.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. Don't like that.
They're known to be one of the best. Very beautiful. Season 2 has been, I think it was voted like best animated series by far.
I love the snow.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love the chilly conditions that we're in. It's very frigid.
Does it not? Okay, when I watched this, Ronnie, you're not going to believe it. It was wintertime.
Yeah.
I would wake up to warm coffee watching this frigid atmosphere. How beautiful is that?
That is a whole vibe, dude.
That's a
vibe. Episode thoughts. First episode. Here we go. Liked it. Oh, God. Liked it. There's really not too much to break down. We just learn a lot about demons, I feel like, which I can appreciate. I would have thought that maybe they spread this info out across multiple episodes, but as of right now, it's kind of like they're just saying, here's what a demon is. Now we can tell the story we want to. And I'm sure there's like more to learn here and there, but as far as like the basics, I felt like I learned a lot of them.
I think it does a good job of that, and it's just a good setup.
As one Aubrey Drake Graham once said, this went 0 to 100
real quick.
Yep, real quick.
Playa real quick.
Yeah, I put N-word. I'm not authorized to say it in parentheses because I am a white guy. If you could not tell, Ronny and Chad are two white guys.
I'm a little more urban than Ronnie, but
what did you think of this first episode?
I liked it. Like you said, good setup, and he's just so wholesome. It kind of sucks what happens, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. All right, let's go right now. Big brother carrying little sister through some snowy conditions.
Nietzsche.
She's got a head wound. Don't mess around with a head wound. I've always said that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not bandaged up either.
No, it's right there. The issue. He also looks pretty beat up himself, but he continues to move forward, which is my kind of guy. I'm already on his side. I'm like, okay, trials and tribulations, walking through snow, someone on your back. It's my kind of guy.
Dope ass hair too.
Yeah. And the earrings. Don't get me started on the earrings.
The Hanukkahs?
Hey, I had me looking up some pierce parlors. You ever looked up an ear pierce parlor?
I went to a funny story. I'll tell it super quick.
Well, don't rush it.
I went to Stacy's or whatever. Not Stacy's. Whatever that store's called.
Stacy's Mom Tattoo Parlor and Piercings?
No, Stacy's, Macy's, Lacey's. It's one of those names.
Okay.
Everyone knows it.
Casey's Diner?
Everyone knows that it's a store with a girl's name. Anyways, they do piercings there. I got my ears pierced at the age of 17. Came home. My mom saw it. She basically ripped them out of my ears and said, you're not allowed to do anything until you get them out. I had to take them out. I think the holes grew back. I've got normal ears now. Couldn't wear them.
Thank God, because, I mean, she saw it and she was like, you cannot be the first white guy named Chad to have an ear piercing.
Yeah.
It's not allowed. Yeah. So we have a cheery farewell. We cut back, I'd say. Or this was in the future. I already kind of picked up on that. We cut back. We have a cheery farewell going on. It's New Year's. He's trying to get some bank so everyone can have their fill at the party.
Yeah, isn't that, how kind is this guy? He's just, by the start, you know, oh, this is a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. And this right here, we already talked about it because we couldn't wait. Ponytail earring combo. He's a charcoal salesman.
Yes. So what time period, okay? That's when I ask you, what time period do you believe this to be in?
Before electricity.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. Is that a trick question? Is that what you're doing there?
No, I just wanted to hear your thoughts. No spoilers.
I was trying to make a joke before electricity because they're using charcoal. Charcoal salesman business, I don't think it's great once electricity starts getting them.
But, I mean, that's not a bad guess, though, because it just seems like an older time period.
Yeah. I mean, they're living in like a wood cabin here.
Yeah.
Looks like they're working the land. They got some land of perhaps a farm. Even though it's snowy, that's not great conditions. I like how all the girls are dressed very traditionally, and he's dressed like one of the guys outside of Atlanta sporting events trying to sell their mixtapes.
Yes, he very much is. He's allowed to, though.
Yeah.
Because of the ponytail.
He looks like the guy, I'm walking to see my Atlanta Hawks take on someone, and he's like, yo, man, my name's Big King Quincy. Check out my rap. And I'm like, King Quincy, excuse me, sir. It's 2022. Why are you handing me hard CD discs?
That's hard CD. And one of the best ones, Pastor John. Everybody knows Pastor John.
Yep.
He's always handing them out. He's somehow everywhere. Like you could be at the local like Arby's and get a Pastor John near the Atlanta Hawks stadium, get the CD, and then drive to the stadium and then get the CD again at the stadium.
Yeah. He's got so many prints around the Atlanta metropolitan area. So voiceover, I thought this was an important quote, so I got it here. He says, life changes. Sun can't shine forever. Snow has to stop falling. And what happens when happiness is destroyed? It's followed by the smell of blood. Huh?
Wow.
Cheery.
That is cheery. And I did want you, if you were listening into sub, I wanted you to name the character, Tanjiro.
Yeah.
Who does his voice in a different anime, but you said dub, so if you do listen to it in sub, that will be my first question to you.
Yeah, dude, just give me a couple episodes, try and get some of these names down, and then I'll switch over sub, dude. I'm with you, bro. Okay. I'm trying to be a good podcaster. You opposed to that?
I'm not a hater. I didn't hate on you. I just said...
people can't see your facial expressions. I can, and they are pretty hypocritical. I will say that.
Hater.
So he gets to town. Some people need charcoal, some don't. That's the way of the charcoal sales business. A hectic man bleeding from the mouth comes pouring out to the street. He has been accused of a crime, breaking a plate. And how do we determine if that's the case? Well, young Tanjiro must smell the plate.
And this is where I thought of myself. I've always told you that I've got a good sniffer.
You got a sniffer on you. I've got it in my notes.
Yep. But Tanjiro...
You ever made a man unguilty from a crime?
I could. Now, I could sniff out a cat from a broken plate from a mile away. So I would be able to decipher between a man breaking a plate and a cat.
So yeah, it was a feline. Tanjiro, he just seems like a jack of all trades. This guy, he needs help with his luggage. Tanjiro helped him. He fixed a sliding door, smells dishes. He does it all. All right?
Yeah, he's pretty much the opposite of you. You're always ranting about stuff, being such a, negative Nancy.
Yeah.
This guy is down to help everybody.
I just do one thing perfect,
outgoing.
and it's podcasting.
Yep.
So, but still, he managed to sell out of the charcoal and is stopped as he's heading back up the mountain by a man. We come from Attack on Titan. Who is one of our favorite characters? Best woman in the show.
Hanji-san.
Is it a crime to call this young man Tanji?
No, it is not. It is not.
Because how do you say his name?
Tanjiro?
Tanjiro?
Tanjiro.
So we just take off the row and it's just Tanji, right?
We can call him Tanji. I love that. I think that suits him perfect. And you know why? Because
we like to shorten names.
Because of his hair.
We're going to have to say it so many times over these next episodes. We call it Tanji.
You can either just call him Tanji or you got to say it like this. Tanjiro.
Yeah, which just makes it even longer, but I'll throw a few in there. I'm not scared.
And we can call him that because of his hair. It does remind me of Hanji's hair.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of sniffers, he says, "Don't worry, young man, or sir, I've got a good one on me." And the man forces him to stay with him. Be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful.
How old do you think Tanjiro is?
Oh, great question. Love that question. 15. So,
I think that's a pretty appropriate guess.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think they technically say it. They might say it soon, but I think that's around the age.
I was getting 15 vibes. 16 birthday might be coming up pretty quickly.
Yeah, around 16. I could see it.
So yeah, this old man's got to be careful. Quit inviting young men into your house and forcing them. Not inviting, but then forcing. And then he says, we need to before the demons show up,
But you are hating on this man, but it is getting cold outside. It's getting very blizzardy, and there's demons in this world.
I don't think he took into account that Tanji did have a good sniffer on him. He kind of just ignored that fact. But he did win me over because I think it's a good rule to get inside before demons show up. I think we make that a Podcast Chronicles rule. If you hear demons are getting ready to show up, get inside.
And it's becoming nighttime. Demons are always in the night. That's in old folk tales.
Not to mention, this old guy, he seems pretty cool. He's got some food set out for him, little white rice, some fruit perhaps, a nice hot green tea, I believe. Did you see that green beverage that was steamy?
That's something I've never really tried is green tea.
You never really did? I feel like, dude, now that I think about it, you would be so obnoxious. I feel like you try tea a couple times, you would all of a sudden become a tea guy.
No, I'm not. Well, warm tea, yes. Not...
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
warm
I'm
tea.
glad you said that. This southern, for those of you that are first-time listeners, we are southern boys, country boys. We're from Georgia, United States of America, and
a lot of demons down here.
Oh yeah, we hunt them demons. And there's a lot of sweet tea
I
going
just stay
on.
inside, but yeah,
There's a lot of sweet teas going around here.
Yeah,
and it is not like the normal teas.
I'm not talking about that, and I think you knew that. I was talking about warm teas.
I believe
you
I
seem
would.
like a guy.
I would.
You would invest in a kettle. Kettles, you know. So anyway,
Kettle corn.
not to. Well, I already said that. So this guy's name is Mr. Saburo.
Yep.
He fills him in on the demons. He says there have always been man-eating demons prowling around after dark. So here's my tip: don't go out when it's dark. He also says
You would think that Tanjiro is old enough to know this.
which is the first thing I thought. I thought, I haven't thought about it yet. This is the first thing I thought. I said, I haven't thought about it yet, but this guy seems like he's 15. How has he never heard of these man-eating demons?
And even if he has, maybe they live so off in the country that he's not worried about it because the demons like go into more populated areas.
Well, not only that, the old man, Mr. Saburo, says, get inside. And then he follows that up with 2 minutes later saying, oh, by the way, the demons, they can also get inside.
Right.
But don't worry, we've got demon slayers who protect the people. This is crazy. This guy's introducing an entire new world to this guy who I feel like walked this path to sell charcoal 700 times.
Yes. And two, you would think you wouldn't want to live out in the country if the demon slayers are never really out there, because then the demons could just get you.
That's like you
know.
driving to work. It takes you like 15 minutes to work, and you get halfway there, and a guy waves you down. You pull over, and he's like, "Dude, watch out for the elephants, bro. We got a lot of elephants in this area. They've always been here too." And you go, "What?"
They always walk across the street every morning when you drive by.
Except
watch out for them.
If you're Tanji, you just go, "Oh, really?" Not at any point do you go, "I've never heard of these elephants." You're just like, "Oh, shit, let me come inside, eat a couple little white rice, little fruit."
I'm only 16. I've never heard of that stuff.
Tanji's like, "Really? Oh my god. I was just selling charcoal down the road for the 700th time. Demons, you say?" So, as if we need more convincing, Mr. Saburo says, "Yeah, lost my entire family." And Tanji thinks he's lonely and crazy, but his grandmother used to say the same thing about these demons.
See, okay,
So it's like he did know about it.
yeah, it's like he did, but it's almost like it seems like they're seasonal. Like they they randomly come
Right.
Like there's like a 10 months out of the year they don't show up at all.
They're like our version of a firefly.
Exactly, yes. And then occasionally you might see one. But I mean, you would think I guess Tanji's never personally seen one. It would be hard to believe that there are demons without seeing one, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say this is getting a little bit ahead of myself. There is some supernatural forces at play, but obviously outside of just the fact that there's demons in this show. I mean, like, even that caused... We'll just wait a second.
Okay.
Will you wait a second, dude? Jeez, calm down. So no demons tonight, though. He wakes up the next morning, but he's smelling blood. And blood he finds. I was thinking... I don't even know what I was thinking. I knew it was like the pilot episode. I was not ready for his entire family to be murdered.
Yeah, especially how nice this guy is. Mm-hmm. Normally, it's like the shitty little brat that his family gets murdered, then he becomes a better person. This is just a really nice, wholesome guy that walks up on his little siblings huddled up together, completely devoured.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't even, like, really... I felt bad for him, but that first little scene, I didn't feel bad as a whole of the family dynamic, because, one, I didn't know him. When he walked away, I was like, is this his direct family? Is he like an orphan, and this is like a little farm that all the orphan children come to? Is that his actual mom?
There's
like,
no father.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, what's going on here? And I'm still not 100% sure. Something was said where I was like, okay, this is his like immediate
Little
family.
siblings, yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, he finds the blood. He's never heard of these demons before, but they've just absolutely
and then
annihilated this family.
And then he says, was it a bear hibernating that didn't hibernate? And I go, dude.
You learned about demons 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What do you think it was?
Which I guess, again, if you've never seen a supernatural demon, you're not going to believe it until you see it.
But this is why supernatural force is at play. Here's this young man. He's old enough to, go to town and sell charcoal by himself. He's never even heard of the demons. And now, same night, his entire family is going to get run up on by demons. What?
Okay. And so, also, too, was it a blessing or a curse that old man stopped him? And
I'll tell you what,
him in?
Mr. Saburo, fuck that guy. Watch out for him.
Oh, okay.
Watch out for him.
You think he had an insider tip?
He likes something about Tanji. Okay, he wants to use Tanji, but he fucking sent those demons onto that prairie family.
You think he sent them? I thought you were meaning that he knew the demons were coming, and he was like, "Oh, this is a nice young boy, so I will keep this young boy here."
He knew. Well, maybe he might have known it was too late. He might have already been like, I think he's connected with the demon slayers, and we learned that one guy's name later. Maybe he knew that guy was already hunting for demons, and they were already up in the hills. So he was like, "I got to stop this young man. His whole family's gonna be slaughtered. I'm just gonna tell him about how mine was."
Just so he gets prepared.
Just so when he sees his, he can't feel bad about it. He's like, well, it's,
Well, that happened to that
he's
guy,
like,
too.
it's like it happens to everybody. I can't be upset that my whole family got. What's a synonym for annihilated? Because I said destroyed, annihilated. I just really want to.
Destroyed, annihilated, eviscerated.
Nice. I just really wanted to find a new word to properly describe the bloody show that's.
It does
taking
suck,
place.
man, that you had to see little kids in the first episode.
It's a bad day.
In the first episode, absolutely slaughtered.
It's a bad day, yeah. I mean, one was just a little baby suckling at the teat of his mother.
That was the saddest one. The mother hunched over, trying to hold it.
Yeah, I also.
Do you think a demon got him?
I also ranked the saddest dead child. I did that too. I'm glad that you have a list. We'll get into it at the end of the episode. I don't want to bog down, but I also ranked the child murders. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Do you think a demon did it?
Yeah, I don't think it was that bear thing. I liked how he was, he wasn't canceling out any options.
I know.
But I don't think that's what happened. So this seems like a fun show. I can't wait to get into it. We pan around to all the dead children, and help me out, Nezuko?
Nezuko, yep.
Nezuko was still a little warm. God, it sounds brutal just reading it. Don't like it.
You think so? He sniffed it out and felt her.
Yeah, he sniffed her warmness.
Okay.
I think.
I mean, you could sniff a pulse and I'm sure a dead smell is definitely different than a live smell, right?
Well, they were still pretty fresh.
Oh, don't say that.
But they were. I'm just,
Well, you're right. It is cold. It preserves,
they haven't decayed
preserves
yet.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The door was left open. I don't know if you saw that part.
Okay.
Demons didn't close. What were they raised in a barn?
Some were outside, though.
That's what my grandmother always said. Ronnie, were you raised in a barn? Close that door. I'm saying the same thing to these demons. So, she's still a little warm. Hence the opening scene from earlier. We got to get her help. She's got that massive head wound. And just as I was starting to think, okay, good, he's going to have one family member, she turns into a demon while riding his back. So now I'm going, okay, this is a vampire show that's demons. Vampires are played out. We're going demons. Because she's a vampire.
Right.
I mean, is she not a vampire?
That's what it seems like right here.
Yeah.
Especially with the nails and the teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The nails. Country boy.
Country boy.
So, Nezuko begins to do the same thing I do in between the times I see long distance family, which is I put on a little weight.
Oh, she does. She takes steroids mid
Starts
piggyback ride.
Chunking up a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's doing that because she's actually physically growing. And I don't have the same excuse. That's not where I put on the weight. I seemingly have topped out at 5'2". Nezuko starts to tear up. Not tear up, tear up. That's just one of those things you get when you read things. It can go either way.
He can smell the demons in his sis.
I wasn't far enough into the sentence to understand the concept, so I said tear, but it's tear up.
And I think she had demons in her before she even got bit.
But that's interesting. That's an important note. She starts to, so she's still in there a little bit.
Yeah, because, I mean, you wouldn't think, we don't know anything about the demons really, but you wouldn't think that demons would be crying, staring at humans.
And just as she does this, a majestic man sweeps in with a sword.
And how cool is this guy?
I love a sword.
Well, yeah, sword is awesome,
And
but how cool is this guy?
He's very cool. He also might be a magician because he somehow grabs her without us really seeing that maneuver. Did you see the maneuver? I didn't see it.
He's doing really good magic or he's just super fast.
His job, I'm sure they won't do anything anime with how quickly he moves. Sure, there will never be an episode where we get his point of view and he's having 17 paragraph thoughts as he's making important quick second decisions.
God, I'm worried about Ronnie in this show. And what's sad, this episode does it pretty well while they continue fighting while doing it instead of just slow motion the entire time. So I'm worried about you, Ronnie.
No, I don't have a problem with this episode. We'll see where we go from here. His job is to put an end to all demons he encounters. It's a lofty goal, but he tries to do it every day.
Yep. So what do you think about this guy, this young strapping lad?
I mean, he's now
a rogue dude going along.
No, I know he's a rogue dude, right? Because he basically tells Tanji at the end to go see like some sort of master man, some head man. At this point, I want to learn a little bit more about this guy. He's kind of just a cliche, as in just there's always this one guy you meet who's a little bit ahead of the game. You know, I mean, think about. Let me see. We covered 25 episodes of the show. Oh, Gojo.
Yeah. Okay. You compare. He does have that vibe of Gojo right now. Yeah.
He's just like the master. This is his new student. So anyway, it's a tale as old as time. If your blood comes into contact with demon blood, kaboom, demon.
That's pretty interesting. That makes you think, even if you just have the smallest cut and demon blood gets on you, you're instantly a demon.
So now they're taking all the tropes that are played out and they're like, we're making them demons. It's a vampire zombie show, right?
That's what it sounds like.
I mean, that's the zombie thing. You get just a little bit of blood. You know, they get a little nick of you. A bite, you're done for.
But that's saliva, so I don't know.
Yeah, but blood's a big thing.
Okay.
You know, and you didn't make it past much of The Walking Dead. I
watched the Vampire Diaries.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you
there
think?
There was a lot of writing and diaries and stuff going on.
What did you think of that 37-year-old man that played that high school vampire? Were you impressed with his performance?
Are you talking about no shirt, tight jeans?
No shirt, tight jeans.
I thought he did great.
And what about that one girl that looks like Victoria Justice, but her name's not that?
Oh, yeah, she did wonderful.
Yeah, I liked her in that show.
And Kat.
Yes.
That our friend is good friends with.
We got a person who did the artwork for our podcast, is friends with her. No big deal.
No big deal. She follows him, he follows her.
We're basically famous. So, once a demon, no going back. And Tanji, he's really begging for his sister's life, but Magic Man, which could stand for magic or God, I messed that up. But Tanji's really begging for his sister's life, but MM, which could stand for magic or majestic man, that's why I did it. Eminem. Call this guy Eminem. Unfortunately, I learned his real name in a few minutes here.
Giyu Tomoka, shitty name. Tomiako.
Oh, wow. You said that pretty confidently, even though that's how crazy it was. The first time you said it so confidently, and then you still turned back because you were like, oh, I got it wrong. I'm worried about this guy's name. He's a classic no funny business play by the rules guy. He doesn't care that this is his sister. He throws a little bone to us. He says, maybe the demons know how to cure your sister, but they sure as hell wouldn't care. But that was another piece that I latched onto. I'm like, so you're saying there's a chance.
See, this is what I like about this guy, though. This makes us think in the first episode that there's like 0% cases outside of maybe this one right here where a demon actually cares for a human.
Right. Well, yeah. So that was right there.
Yeah.
What you just said is the part that really sold me over, is because she right now, kind of outside of we saw her tear up a little bit, is just like a mindless demon zombie vampire. He's making it seem like, oh, there's some demons that are like capable of like further thought and knowledge, but they just don't give a shit.
They're they're more like their own species
Yeah.
and fuck humans. Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna be having some chats with some demons, I think. And Eminem starts to crack a little, and Tanji's persistence begging.
So you're calling her a low-class demon.
She's a low-class demon.
Okay.
But I mean, what can you expect? She's only been a
brand
demon
new,
for a
yeah.
couple hours, you know. So in his inner monologue, Eminem is very understanding, though. This is kind of interesting. He says, "I think he's been in Tanji's shoes before," or he doesn't say that. I think he's been in Tanji's shoes before, and he hates the fact that he wasn't here a day sooner, half a day sooner.
Half a day sooner. Yep. And do you? Okay. Here's another thing. Would he have stopped it?
Here's the thing about how shows gotta work, right? I think we'll come to understand that whatever destroyed his family was nothing for a demon slayer.
Okay.
Because we're at some point the stakes have got to be higher, and like, taking out a family of what was it, 6, 7, something like that.
And they were all
And
women
children.
and children. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing for these demons. I think. What did you say Eminem's guy's name was?
Gyu Tomiaka.
Yeah, Guillaume Chamanaka. He could have had him no problem. So, Tanji charges with some well-placed rock distractions. He also makes one hell of a play with a hatchet. It didn't work.
It didn't work, but boy was it a play. This is if you're not
Say it.
if you
It's in my notes. Say it, Chad.
play the game. Poggers.
Oh, not what I thought you were going to say.
I was going to say, if you're a non-athletic guy and you need something to fight back against, this is a type of move that you pull.
This is the advanced version of the classic dodgeball attack. The old set it up, rip 'em.
Oh, yeah. You thought that's exactly what I was going to say.
Is it not?
No, it's a good
I mean,
good
you
line,
were.
but
I mean, you
thought I was
didn't play
gonna-
dodgeball. You played blitzball. Did you never pull this maneuver off?
It was battle ball. Okay.
Okay. Blitzball is a wiffle ball
Yeah.
variant that I have a great time playing. And I'm 26, and that's fine. So, no.
No, it was a terrific move. I mean, when you do something... I mean, this is like me going up against Tfue in Fortnite. What I would have to do... what the move I would have to pull... The move I would have to pull.
That was so lame.
To...
Oh my god. I gotta edit that out. That sucks so hard.
Don't let it.
I know. I just gotta say that I was gonna edit it out because oh my god, that was.
This is what I would have to pull to
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
shot off against him.
Okay. Jeez. So if there's one thing I'm taking from this episode, though, it's that these demons are messing around. Nothing stops them if they're hungry. They're not going to hesitate to eat the family. They supposedly can heal themselves. Just all these things. They're just rattling them off at this point. But Magic Man can't help but wonder whether or not these two were different. Just between, Tanji and his sis here.
They seem different.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it because it was the first demon-human encounter I've had.
Well, she stopped him from attacking him.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
It seems like, whoa.
Tanji sees a vision of his family saying they have to leave and to take care of Nezuko. He snaps out of that. We learn Eminem's name is Gyu.
Gyu.
Gyu? Okay, cool. And that he spared his sister and he is headed straight away to the top of a mountain to meet with what I can only imagine is a wise old man.
That's a great...
I mean, if we get to the top of this mountain, this dude is under the age of 80. I might quit the show next episode.
Well, he could be about 78. But you are so right. Swordsmanship, when there's cold weather, swordsmanship, and manners, when manners are involved, you know that an old wise man
There's going to be a frail old man at the top of the mountain with a sword, and you're going to think, oh, God, the guy's going to be cocky, be like, oh, you're going to teach me, old man. And at first, he'll just beat you off, just movement and swiftness.
Right.
Are you laughing because I'm nailing it?
At first, he'll just beat you off.
And then, oh, I see. And then be careful. And then at a certain point, when the young one starts to improve, he will eventually take off his first layer of clothing and get serious.
Take off the weights. Yep.
And get him again.
They use weighted clothing.
Yep.
It's always a thing.
And demons can't be exposed to sunlight. He goes back, buries his family, That's a lot of digging. And my final note that I leave with you is, you ever dug a grave?
I have, and not for a human, but for animals, and that's not an easy task. To be able to bury 7 people, I don't even know how many it was, and those are, I mean, a lot of them are children, so it's not that big, but you got the mother, you got all of them, that's a lot of digging.
It's a lot of digging.
It's a lot of digging.
All while you've got a demon sister trying to gnaw at you.
Now, it does seem like there's some not only supernatural demon tricks going on in this world, but there is definitely some superhuman strength.
Okay, so they're not on our Earth, right?
Well,
they got some.
Well, at least with Giyu, Tanjiro, I don't know if we really see that from him, but
He's the classic case of he's got something in him, he just doesn't know about it yet.
right.
Hence why Saburo, he sees something in this young man. So does Giyu. But that's the end of the first
hopefully
episode.
Not himself.
Yeah, I hope not either. As far as the posting schedule, once we get rolling, I could see a world like this took half an hour. We could do a couple of these a week. I think most people would enjoy it more if we do that, but at least one a week.
Well, that's not the end of the episode, because it goes straight into the opening, which they play at the ending for some reason.
Right, but I didn't get into that because
You
don't
didn't-
put the opening at the ending.
Well, they did. I don't know why they did it in this episode.
You're spoiling. You're spoiling.
You didn't listen to it?
How was I to know that it was the opening? I was like, oh, this is the closing.
Well,
I was like, I'll get the opening next episode. But now I know it's the opening, and now I don't even, what am I to do?
Well, because I wanted to talk about it, because anybody with half of a brain would know that
Would know, oh, this song they're playing at the end is actually the opening.
the track that is this long is actually the opening, because this is an S tier track, Ronnie. This is one of the best openings you'll get in anime. Okay, I don't give a shit who's listening.
Whoa.
And it's like, no. This track is a banger. I've listened to it a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Sunaru lareu tiyumoshika boku wo tulade susume. That opening right there, and
Yeah.
it goes into the drums and
I
everything.
do recall it now that you sang it like that.
It's fucking beautiful, man. It's great.
I can't wait for it to actually open the show.
And the visuals, terrific. I just wanted to say that. It's
Yeah.
right up there with the best of the best in any anime.
Yeah, it's a great ending.
put it there.
I really like the ending song. It's a good ending song. The end credits, is that what you're talking about?
Okay, Ronnie. Well, you'll see next episode.
Yeah. No, I would put it in a top 10 ending song. But no, what was I saying before you nerded out about the ending song that was at the end of the episode?
It's the OP.
The ED, I believe, is what you call it, the erectile dysfunction. So, yes, at least one a week, maybe in the future more. We'll see. Meanwhile, if you like what we do, if you check out any of our other podcasts on the free feed, you dig it, check out our Patreon podcast, or patreon.com/podcastchronic. Link will be in the description. You got anything else? Twitter at podcastchronic.
Patreon, if you only listen for televised TV series that we cover, we're thinking about upping the game on Patreon and doing something else where we add even more
so glad
content.
you brought it up. Right now, it's just Learn a Little Something. So if you're haven't listened to those yet, we'll be straight up with you. Don't maybe get into the Patreon yet. Go check some of the ones out on the free feed. But we're gonna be doing some classic anime shows eventually that people have asked for, but they're no longer airing. We're gonna take a little trip down memory lane.
Classic anime shows.
All right. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I can't wait for next episode. SpongeBob
wait.
Chronicles coming soon. That's exactly what he's talking about when we're talking about classic anime shows. I've been Ronnie.
And I've been Chatty.
Peace.
Peace.